Today I'm going to be taking us through a Pilates mat workout for low back pain. So if you've had any sort of disc issues in the past or suffering from sciatica, this workout's going to be great for you. We're going to focus on stabilizing the pelvis and the lower spine and really strengthening the core. So let's get started. The first thing I want to mention is if you're suffering from any type of lower back pain, when you get down onto the ground, you want to avoid kind of rounding forward. So the best way to do that is to, from standing, just take one knee down, keeping the spine nice and straight, bring the knees together, and then you can kind of just rock over to one hip, lie down onto your side first, and then roll to your back. And then we're going to start here with the 100. So you're going to first start by drawing the belly muscles in so that you feel that your stomach muscles are contracted in towards your spinal column. From here, we're going to bring our legs up to tabletop. So you can just bring them up one knee at a time. Let's walk the fingertips down the mat so you're reaching the shoulders away from the ears. And then we're going to take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to peel your shoulder blades off the mat. Look at your belly. We'll float the arms and then we'll begin pumping here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Keep pumping and breathing. All right, so if you're feeling strong here and you're able to keep your low back anchored on your mat, then you can start to extend your legs. If this becomes too much, just go ahead and bend the knees back in. If you're feeling any sort of strain or pain through the neck, you can also rest your head and just keep pumping with the arms. Really focusing on drawing the belly muscles in on your exhale. Two more breaths. Last one. And exhale, 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 exhale. Relax. So hugging the knees back into the chest and then lowering your head and chest down. Give your knees a little squeeze. So as you pull those knees in towards your chest, you want to make sure that your tailbone stays down. So you're still lengthening all the way from the crown of the head through the tailbone. Let's bend our knees and place our feet flat on our mat. And we're going to move into just some little half roll-ups, right? So for low back pain, you want to avoid rounding through that lower spine, but we can still work a little bit here into our upper abs. So let's start by reaching the arms straight up to the ceiling. You're going to anchor your shoulder blades down into the mat, and then think about closing the rib cage so that you're trying to pull the rib cage down. See if you can keep the rib cage down as you start to stretch the arms behind you, right? So you're making a long line with your body, but you keep pulling the belly in. Inhale to bring the arms back up. Bring your chin to your chest, and you're just going to roll up just a few inches, right? So now I'm really feeling those upper abs engage. From there, just go ahead and roll the head and shoulders back down. Keep the ribs in as you reach the arms back behind you. Inhale the arms up, and then exhale to peel just the head and shoulders off the mat, right? So that lower spine is staying long. And then we'll roll it back. Keep going a few more times. And we'll take two more here. Really thinking about drawing the rib cage together and down. And then one more. And then relax your arms down at your sides. I'm going to use a magic circle here for this next exercise to stretch my legs, but if those of you at home that don't have one of these, you can use a belt or a towel, right? So again, always making sure with back pain, when you come to your back, you want to roll to your side first and then onto your back. Let's extend our right leg straight up, and then we're gonna hook this circle over the ball of our right foot. Now you could choose, again, to use a belt or whatever you have at home. Flex through your ankle, and then just gently start to draw that leg towards you, right? So you're feeling a nice stretch down your hamstring. And then you could flex and point the foot here a few times to get a little more stretch into your calf. And then you could also start to bend the knee towards your chest and then stretch it back up. So we'll just take this 2 or 3 times. We'll release our circle to the side. That leg's gonna stay in the air, arms are long. Again, think about drawing the belly muscles in. And then we're gonna take our single leg circles. You're gonna circle the leg across the body, around and up. So the focus here is on keeping that pelvis nice and steady, right? So you're gonna try to avoid any sort of wiggling or rocking side to side. So you're making the circles only as big as you can stay steady. If it feels really easy to stay steady here and you can anchor your lower back, you could choose to straighten that bottom leg. But if you feel your back start to arch, then I'd bend the knee back in. Coming back to center, we'll take 5 going the opposite way, around and up. And then we can grab our circle, we'll give that same leg one more stretch. And then we'll switch sides. So we'll lower the right leg. Let's lift the left leg up. Flex through your ankle and then start to pull that leg towards you. Feeling that nice stretch down your hamstring. And then we can flex and point this foot a few times. And then we can bend and stretch. And then we'll take the circle to the side. That leg's gonna stay straight up in the air, arms are long. And then we'll take the leg across the body and up. The whole time that you're doing these circles, you're thinking about drawing the belly muscles in and anchoring your back. If it feels okay to extend the leg, go for it, but not if it makes you wiggle more, right? You wanna, again, make sure you can feel that back anchored on your mat, and you wanna make sure that the wiggling is to a minimum. We'll stretch this same leg one more time. And then let's release. We'll hug both knees into our chest. So we're going to move on with the stomach series. So let's start with our right hand on our right ankle. The left hand's going to go right below your right knee. Elbows will be wide, and then we'll extend through that left leg. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, let's peel head and shoulder blades off the mat. So again, you're drawing the rib cage down. Bend this right knee in towards your chest as you pulse it in for 1, 2, and then we'll switch, pulsing in 1, 2. Right, so again, you're thinking about keeping the lower back anchored. And then if this feels good, right, and you can really feel your belly here, you're not feeling any sort of strain in your back, you could try to take that bottom leg a little bit lower. If at any point you start to feel any strain in your back, however, you're going to take those legs to a higher angle, right? That's going to be a little less intense. If you're feeling any pain in your neck, go ahead and rest the head and shoulders down, but keep moving with the legs. Let's take one more each side. And then hug Moving on with the double leg stretch. You're gonna take one hand on each ankle. Take an inhale. As you exhale, peel your shoulder blades up and look at your belly. So that's those upper abs really drawing down. This time on your inhale, arms extend, legs extend. So your heels are touching, toes are apart. Squeeze through your inner thighs. Exhale, circle the arms around and hug the knees back in. Inhale to lengthen out. Look at your belly, pull it in. And then exhale around. Keep moving with your breath here. So the same rule applies, right? If you find that you can keep your back down, your stomach is really engaged, you're not feeling any strain in your back, then maybe you take the legs a little lower, right? But if it feels like too much, you're gonna bring the legs higher, right? They could even go just straight up to the ceiling, right? So just be careful that you don't do too much too soon. Two more. And then roll head and shoulder blades down. We'll move on now with the single straight leg stretch. So you're gonna extend your right leg straight up. And then you're gonna grab onto the back of your leg, right? So maybe you can reach your calf. If not, you can grab your hamstring. Extend your left leg long. Take an inhale, exhale, peel everything up. Look at your stomach. Elbows are nice and wide to keep your chest open, and then we'll pulse this in for 1, 2, and then we'll switch 1, 2. Right, so your lower back is staying nice and long. Belly muscles are drawing in. Be careful that you don't take that bottom leg too low, right, if you're feeling it in your back, right? So you can take it a little higher up here. One more each side. And then hug the knees in. All right, we're going to move on with the double straight leg stretch. So let's take hands behind the head for this exercise. Extend both legs up, heels together, toes apart. Think about zipping up through the legs. Take an inhale. Exhale, we'll peel shoulder blades up. You're going to look at your belly again. All right, so now you're really focusing on your low belly. Squeeze through the glutes. With your next inhale, you're going to lower the legs just a couple inches towards your mat. So you're making sure that back stays anchored down. As you exhale, bring the legs back to 90 degrees. Inhale to lower the legs. Exhale to lift. So you're only taking your legs as low as you can keep your back down and your belly in, right? All the effort should be in your stomach. You should not be feeling any sort of strain in your back. We'll go for 2 more. And then hug the knees in and rest. Let's set our feet down. We're gonna just do a couple bridge poses here. It's a nice counter pose to that belly work, right? Because we're able to kind of stretch the front body. Let's reach your arms long at your sides. You want your knees directly over your ankles. Draw the belly muscles in first, and then press your hips up. Once you're up here at the top, see if you can close the ribs and hug the low belly in. Keep hugging the low belly in. Take an inhale, and then exhale to slowly release down. Really focusing on anchoring the upper back as you come down. And then we'll just do one more. Squeezing through the belly and pressing up. Ribs are closing in, navel's drawing towards the spine, legs are strong. And then gently lowering down. Let's hug our knees back into our chest, and then we're going to move on with an exercise called the corkscrew. Your head and shoulders are going to stay down, arms at your sides. Let's extend both legs up here once again. Heels together, toes apart. Squeeze through the inner thighs. We're gonna draw little circles on the ceiling, this time with both legs together. So you're gonna take your legs down to the right, in a tiny little circle, over to the left, back to center, and then right away you reverse. You go left, down, around to the right, and center. Same thing here. You're not gonna let that low back arch off your mat. It stays down. You're really focusing on that stability through the pelvis, right? So these circles are small. You're working that low belly. One more each way. And then hug your knees in. We're gonna flip over onto our stomach next. So you're gonna start by rolling to one side, pressing yourself up. And then we're gonna come out into a forearm plank here to begin. So you're gonna set your forearms down. You can measure the distance of where your elbows should be. You should be able to reach opposite elbows with your hands. And then you can go ahead and extend the arms back out. Tuck your toes under and we'll press up into this forearm plank, right? So in forearm plank, you're trying to make one straight line from the crown of the head through the heels. So all the same rules about that belly engagement apply here. You're thinking about lifting your low belly, drawing the navel towards the spine. Squeeze through your inner thighs, squeeze through your glutes, and then see if you can pull your shoulders a little bit more back as the chest drops forward. We'll hold here for a few breaths. If this feels like it becomes too much, you could set your knees down, but you're going to try to keep that diagonal spine. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And then very gently, you're going to set your knees down, set your belly down, and then set your forehead down. We'll come into here in a little extension for the upper spine. So I'm going to have you take your arms a little bit wider, and you want them a little more in front of you so that your elbows are just slightly bent. Set your forehead down, right? So your low ribs here are going to stay down on the mat, right? You have to squeeze through the legs, lift through your belly like you're trying to pick your belly up off your mat. Draw the shoulder blades down, press into the palms, and then just start to lift your chest. Keep trying to pull the shoulders back as you try to pull the chest forward, right? So I'm kind of really pressing with my hands and trying to drag my hands back towards my body as my chest reaches forward. So it's a nice little extension there for that upper spine. Take an inhale, and then exhale to lower. We'll try that again. Squeeze through the legs, lift through the belly, and then just that upper spine starts to bend. See how my elbows are now hovering off the mat? And release. One more time, we'll stay up this time and we're going to add a little stretch for the quadriceps, moving into a single leg kick. So again, you're going to inhale as you come up, hugging the belly and trying to press the chest forward. And then we'll bend that right knee and kick your bottom for 1, 2. And then switch, 1, 2. Really focus on keeping the stomach muscles engaged here. Keep trying to draw the chest forward. We'll go for 1 more each side. And then gently release your forehead all the way down. Turn your left ear to the mat now, and we're going to take our hands behind our back. One hand right on top of the other, and then see if you can let the elbows relax at your sides, right? So this is a nice stretch for the back of the shoulders. Bring your heels to touch, squeeze through your legs. First, lift up through your belly, but try to keep your hip bones pressing down into your mat. We'll bend the knees, we'll kick with both legs now, pulsing in for 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to straighten the legs, press the tops of the feet into the mat, reach your hands back and open your chest. right? So notice I'm still really low here. I'm really just trying to bend through that upper spine. I'm drawing forward with my chest. And then exhale to release, turning head the opposite way. Your hands will go back up your back. Squeeze your bottom, press your hips down. Hug the heels in towards the glutes and pulse in for 1, 2, 3. And then we'll stretch up, reaching long, extending the chest forward. And again, I will take 2 more. This is our double leg kick. And then stretching up. And again. And reaching up. And then we'll lower our forehead down. Set your hands by your ribs. Press up and back. And just sit your hips onto your heels, but send your bottom back, right? So we're not trying to round here. We're just trying to lengthen our spine. So you're still trying to reach the crown of the head forward as you press your hips back. So you're in this nice long position with your back here. And then we'll come back out. We're going to move into our side kick series next. So I'm going to lie down onto my left side. I'm lining up my spine with the back edge of my mat. So from my head all the way down to my tailbones, one straight line. But then my legs come forward here towards that front edge. Support your head with your hand. You can also choose to extend your arm and lay your ear on your bicep if you have neck sensitivity. That right hand's going to come right in front of my chest, and I'm thinking about keeping my shoulders and my hips stacked throughout this entire series. Top leg will float up a couple inches. Let's turn it out just a little bit. And we're going to swing this leg forward for 1, 2, and then reach it back. Forward 1, 2, and then stretch back. Right, so I'm really thinking about keeping the belly engaged, keeping my box steady, right? So that's the shoulder stack and the hip stack. You're really working to keep stability through the upper body here as you swing that leg. One more time. And then reach it all the way back. Bring the legs together. Our next set, we're going to kick lightly up to the side and then flex your foot, lengthen out of your hip as you press down. Swing it up, lengthen it down. As you swing it up, you're going to try not to let the hip open up like this, right? The hips stay stacked. One more lift. Take it all the way down. We'll work our inner thigh here next. So I want you to kick that top leg up and you're going to bend your knee, planting that right foot in front of your left thigh, and then take your right hand and grab your ankle so that leg doesn't slide away. Take the bottom leg back a couple inches. Can you really lengthen that bottom leg? With your heel slightly up, you're going to lift that leg as high as it'll go, and then release it down. Lift it up and hold it up, and then release it down. Lift it up, hold it, reach it longer, and we'll pulse it up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift and release. Let's restack our legs now. And then we're going to bend our knees, right? The knees stay where they were. I'm just bringing the heels back. And now my heels are going to lift. And we're going to move into some clamshells. This is going to strengthen those glute muscles. So you're going to keep those hips stacked. We're going to open up through the top knee, squeeze through the bottom, and then close the knee back down, right? Making sure those hips stay nice and steady. Open up and close it down. Neck stays nice and long. Belly stays pulling in. Just for 3 more. Release and lower your heels. We're going to roll onto our back from here to take a little stretch, which is really nice for back pain. It's our figure 4 stretch. So you're going to lie on your back, place your feet flat on your mat, take your right ankle across your left knee, keep your spine long on your mat as you bring your left knee up into your chest, and then you can interlace your hands behind your left hamstring here, right? If you're super tight and you can't quite reach this grip, or you have to kind of strain your upper body to do it, you could use a belt or a towel, and you could hook it over the ball of the left foot, and you can take the stretch this way as well. And then again, you're just thinking about really keeping your tailbone all the way down. And just take 2 more breaths here. And then we'll gently release out of this stretch. Uncross your legs. We're going to roll to our side to come up to sitting so we can switch sides. So rolling to your side, pressing yourself up. And then we'll swing our legs around to the other side. Lying down now onto our right side. Finding your position, right? You want the spine long on the back edge of the mat. Legs are going to come forward. Think about keeping shoulders and hips stacked. You're going to float that top leg, turn it out slightly, and then we'll swing it forward. 1, 2. And then really extend, reaching the leg long behind you. Kicking 1, 2, and then stretching back. Focus on staying as steady as you can through your upper body, right? Never forgetting to pull those belly muscles in. Just 2 more. Last one. Reach that leg long, 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 and then we'll bring our legs together. From here, we're going to kick lightly up to the side, and then flex the foot and lengthen the leg as it goes down. Swing it up. Press it down. All right, checking in, making sure that top hip's not opening up, right? It's staying stacked right on top of the bottom one. My belly muscles are working super hard. And just 1 more. We'll pick up that top leg, bend the knee and grab the foot so we can work the inner thigh. All right, so you're just gonna grab onto that ankle. Let's slide that back leg back a few inches, heel up, reach through that leg. You're gonna lift it up and hold it up, and then lower it down. Lift it up and hold, and lower. Lift and hold. We'll pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it down. Let's restack the legs. We're going to move into those clamshells next, right? So the knees stay where they are. You're just going to bring your heels towards that back edge. Lift both heels. Heels stay glued together as we open the top leg, squeeze through the bottom, and then close. Open up and close. You're really making sure that glute muscle fires as you open the knee, keeping hips stacked, right? Remember, you're really trying to avoid this opening up of that top hip. We're trying to stay super steady through the pelvis here. Let's go for 2 more. Lower the feet. Let's roll onto our back. We're going to take that figure 4 stretch. Now crossing the left ankle over the right knee. Feet are flat. Take the left ankle across. And then hug the belly in so your spine stays long on your mat. Don't let your tailbone lift as you pull that right knee in. And you can stay just like this. If you liked the version where we added, the strap, right? This just gives you a little more space if you're really tight. You can take it this way as well. And then let's go ahead and release out of this. Set your strap or circle beside you if you're using it. Let's uncross our legs, give them a little squeeze. And then we're going to roll onto our sides so that we can press ourselves up to a seat. We're going to finish with a couple sets here of Pilates push-ups. So let's come to hands and knees to begin. You're going to walk your hands out. And then we're going to press our hips forward so that we're in a kneeling plank to start, right? Our fingers are spread nice and wide. You want that index finger pointing forward. So again, I'm pressing my hips forward. You want to avoid your bum sticking out like this, right? You're trying to keep that low back long. So you got to use your glutes, squeeze your bottom, lift your low belly, and then lengthen this forward, right? So my legs and stomach are working really hard just holding this position. You want to make sure your shoulders are right over your wrists. Your gaze is going to be a little bit forward in front of you. Let's hug our elbows in, and then you're going to bend down just halfway, 90 degrees, and then press up. We're going to go for 5 push-ups. And then you're going to send your bottom back, sit back onto your heels. Nice long spine here. You're trying to still reach the crown of the head forward, coming into a little stretch, right? If this feels like too much rounding for your low back, right, you're just going to bring it up a little higher. You can kind of come to a tabletop, and you can always do just a little kind of opening up through the chest and then coming back to neutral, right? This would be kind of a modification if even sitting on your heels feels like a little too much pull on that low back. And then we're going to come out again. We're going to try another set of these push-ups, right? So maybe you did them kneeling that time and you thought, oh, well, that wasn't that challenging. I think I could do a little bit more. So we can try these from a high plank, right? So from here, you're going to extend one leg back and then extend the other leg back. Same rule applies. You want to avoid your bum sticking up. You really want to avoid your backs sagging like this, right? So you have to use your belly. You're going to lift your belly, squeeze your outer hips in, squeeze through the inner thighs, hug your elbows in so your biceps point forward. Shift a little more forward, right? You want the shoulders right over the wrists. And then you can come down into your push-ups here. Halfway down, squeeze through the legs and belly, press up. One more. Hold here. If you're feeling strong, you could try a couple breaths in a side plank. So let's spin our heels right. And then you can reach your left arm up. Now I'm really working that sideways, but see, my hips and my shoulders are still stacked. So I'm not twisting or bending in my back at all. If it feels too challenging to hold it like this, you could set the bottom knee down, focus on really engaging through that lengthened leg. The other option from here is to step the top foot forward, right? And then you can press the floor away with that foot to lift the hips and strengthen that bottom side. Let's take one more breath. And then we'll come back to plank, and we'll try it going the other way. So you're gonna spin your heels left. Reach your right arm up. So showing it from the back side this time, right? So you can stay just like this. If it feels like too much, two different options, right? You could take the bottom knee down, or slightly more challenging than that would be to take the top foot over. And then we'll come back to plank pose. Can we hold our plank here for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set your knees down. Send your hips back, set your hips back onto your heels. Rest your forehead on your mat. Remember, if this feels like too much pull on your lower back, you can always just stay on hands and knees. You could take just a little kind of cow movement here, opening the chest, and then lifting the belly, coming back to a flat neutral spine. Inhaling to open, exhaling back to neutral, right? Or if it feels okay, this does feel like a super nice stretch. And then we can just press ourselves up to a seat. We are finished with our Pilates workout for low back pain. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much.